Hey everyone, welcome back to the fourth episode of 12th Man Show. And today we have an interesting guest on the show. He's a die-hard United fan. He's a member of our 12th Man family, and he sucks at FIFA. But without further ado, let me introduce you guys to Sarvesh Bajaj. So, Sarvesh, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You're one of our early guests, and we hope to have your continued support here at 12th Man.
Definitely.
So, the topic for today's episode are really interesting. We're going to talk about Manchester United, a club both of us love, and arguably the biggest club in English football,
Not arguably.
the biggest club in my bad. And the topics we're going to address, guys, are the title run-in, last three games remaining, extremely important. The transfers United needs to sort of take it to the next level. The players that need to be kicked the fuck out of this club. Sarvesh's opinions on Ole. I have my own. I won't share them way too much. And the looming FA Cup semi-final. So these are going to be our core topics. So yeah, let's proceed with the title run-in. So just to kind of brief you about the title
Yeah.
run-in, we will be playing Crystal Palace away, West Ham at home, and Leicester City away.
Yeah.
So these are really difficult in my opinion because we need maximum points. What are your thoughts on the title run-in?
So looking at the current scenario and the form we are in right now after the Bruno influx in our team, I feel that we can easily tackle these teams. And apart from Leicester, both these teams lie in the bottom 20 of the lot. Leicester is going to be a tricky
Yeah,
fixture.
yeah.
So apart from that, West Ham and Crystal Palace, we can easily beat them because Crystal Palace right now are looming with defensive problems. And
I agree with that 100%. But, sorry for cutting you off. Crystal Palace beat us at Old Trafford. That was, I think, the second game of the season.
Exactly.
And West Ham beat us 2-0 as well. And turns out we beat Leicester City 1-0.
Yeah.
So, we bottled a 2-1 lead against Southampton, 2-1, 2-all 96th minute. So, do you think these are easy ties, or do you think
these
United might?
are like easy in the context that our team has again gathered the confidence, the morale is high.
Yeah.
We're playing very good, fluid football all over again.
18 games unbeaten.
18 games unbeaten. Pogba's back. Pogba's performing very good. Martial is doing his bit. Even in the defensive front, we are facing some problems in regards with the centre backs Harry Maguire and Lindelof. Apart from that, we've got a very complete team, and I'm quite sure, positive that we're gonna beat these three teams easily, and it's gonna be a huge scoreline as well.
Okay. So, according to you, we are finishing top four, no questions asked.
100%.
Okay.
To add to that, maybe we'll win the Europa League as well to cement our position.
And the FA Cup, might I
Yeah.
add. So, anyway, according to you, you're optimistic about the run in. We'll finish top four. So, let me ask you this. Do you prefer top four in the league, or do you prefer winning the UEFA Europa League and getting to the UCL? Because top four also gets us to the UCL, but no trophy. But UEL gets us to the UCL with a trophy. What are your thoughts on that?
Basically, the end goal you were asking how do I want us to reach the end goal?
Yeah.
A trophy adds. So winning Europa League will definitely help. Morale will be high. Players will be motivated by the European League. So I feel that, but I'm pretty confident that we'll be doing both and reaching UCL.
Fair. My opinion would be, top four, even though we don't get it, we should definitely have a Europa League in our,
Definitely.
in our trophy
I
collection,
second
even
that.
though we have one. And you watched a UEFA Europa League final, so you know the feeling of,
I know the feeling.
And anyway, getting to the Champions League is definitely the next step,
Yeah.
and United deserves to be playing in the Champions League. That's what I believe. So we have a good squad. United has a good squad. We don't have a good squad depth. Last summer, approximately 150 million pounds was spent on three players: Harry Maguire, Daniel James and Van Bissaka, out of which I'd rank, Van Bissaka as the best transfer. So, what are your opinions on the new signings?
So, talking about the signings we made earlier on, Van Bissaka, not only he is the best signing we made, I guess he's amongst the top transfers that happened
Last,
last year.
yeah,
And Daniel James is a good prospect. He's gonna flourish, I'm sure, under the leadership of Ole.
but let me ask you this: do you think he's a regular starter, like a starter United, like a starter with the Manchester United mentality, or do you think he's more of a squad player, someone we need to add to our depth rather than having as a
Right
starter?
now, he's a player who adds to the squad depth,
Okay.
but in say 2 years or 3 years, I see him flourishing and destroying teams on the right flank.
Okay.
Yeah.
So him and potentially Jadon Sancho on the right wing.
Yeah.
That would be a devastating combination. I agree. So talking about one of the other signings, Harry Maguire. What are your thoughts on him?
So Harry Maguire, we had a lot of expectations because we drew parallels with Van Dijk, what Van Dijk did to Liverpool, and how he strengthened the whole squad around him. We haven't seen that with Harry Maguire right now.
Yeah, we
and
have.
lately he's been struggling on his own individually as well. So as a United fan, what I expected him to do to the club hasn't actually happened. But I know that he'll be developing his game and getting the team along. Like in the next season, I'm sure with a good partner at the back with him.
So you still think Harry Maguire can have that Van Dijk type effect at Man United?
He can definitely. He has all those qualities. He is a young player.
Yeah.
And I guess just with the right combination and of center defense, center backs, Harry Maguire and someone like say Koulibaly or say Milan from Inter Milan
Yeah.
can do wonders, and they can consolidate a partnership that we once had in the form of Leo Ferdinand and
Ferdinand,
Modric.
the legendary partnership for those of you who aren't watching, who don't know rather. And so you believe in Harry Maguire, and it's I don't know if you're aware of this. It's actually kind of a fun fact, but United have the fourth best defensive record in the league.
Yeah.
So people might be, shitting on Harry Maguire, and I personally believe, even you believe, that he hasn't delivered to the expectations all United fans set when they, paid £80 for Harry Maguire, and we drew parallels to Van Dijk. So yeah, that's a I think he'd definitely do well
I'll add
next
to that,
season.
I
Yeah.
guess Harry Maguire as a player will and requires a person who he can rely on. So having Lindelof with him is not the combination we require right now. So a team is built around your centre back so that the other players can perform freely and like go and attack
Yeah.
freely. And once we get a signing who's a bona fide centre back that the world knows of, say in the form of Koulibaly or Milan from Inter Milan or say Upamecano,
Yeah.
we are very good to go and win the Champions League next
So,
season.
I hope that happens. But I mean, before we talk about that, just to backtrack a bit, you said a team needs a solid base at the back to attack freely up front.
Yes.
And talking about a solid base, Matic has started playing well since the restart. Uh, my other concern with the defense is De Gea has been messing up quite a bit. So what are your thoughts on David De Gea?
So De Gea is too close to my heart, and maybe I have a personal bias here because he saved our
As for 5 years.
7-8 years,
Yeah.
and he's been a star performer.
Yeah.
But we have a good squad depth in terms of keepers. We'll be getting Dean Henderson back the next season, and he's been performing brilliantly well right now in the Premier League. Maybe the best keeper in the Premier League.
Yeah,
right now.
he has the second highest clean
Yeah,
sheets.
yeah. So we have Dean Anderson, we've got Romero.
Yeah.
So we've got enough options to like rotate here as and when it is required.
But talking about Dean and Henderson, do you think after having such a brilliant season, he'd want to come and play as a backup to David De Gea?
He should actually because he'll be getting a lot of chances, and if he dethrones De Gea to get his position, there's no going back for him. So having that mentality, if he looks at it this way, he'll know that if he dethrones De Gea, he'll be regarded as one of the best
Best
keepers in the world, not in the Premier League.
True,
Yeah.
I agree. 100%. So, kind of in order to make it past the group stages in the first, I mean, of course, assuming we get to the Champions League, you definitely believe as well that we need a better squad depth in order to
Definitely,
compete with the
definitely.
best. Okay, so just talking about that, who all would you kick out from the current squad?
So currently, first of all, get rid of Jesse Lingard as soon as possible. Even if you have to pay for him to leave, do that. I don't care how it happens. He has to leave. He does not need to be around Old Trafford anymore. First of all. Second of all, we can offload Marcus Rojo. We'll be getting Smalling back the next season. We can maybe take him out too because we've got enough option in the form of backup option in the form of Lindelof and Pai.
That problem's lifted because I think Smalling has agreed a fee with Roma.
Oh, that's
Personally,
great. That's great. Then one problem
yeah.
solved. And apart from that, we can take out maybe Romero is a great keeper, but when we'll be getting
Dean Henderson.
Dean Henderson back, he'll be having no spot or no role to play. So we can maybe save the wages and apply them elsewhere. Apart from that, we can maybe.
What about Andres Pereira?
Andres Pereira, yeah, definitely, definitely. He too does not require to be around Old Trafford or on the pitch anymore. He is absolutely clueless. So Andres Pereira is one of the players who I want to be kicked out next season. So we've got like 7-8 players who require to be kicked out. So yeah.
So you kick all those players out, you save up some wages, you get some money. Who do you bring in?
So, in my opinion, first of all, the most important requirement for us right now is a solid centre back.
Yeah.
And the options maybe are Koulibaly, as I mentioned. He's a great striker, great defender, bona fide defender. He's been playing brilliantly well. So, the only concern is he's maybe 29 years old, but he's got a lot of prime football left in him. So, him and Maguire at the back, I don't see any job for the keeper to be between the nets.
Yeah.
So bring in Koulibaly or maybe a good centre back who's performed really well this season.
So like Upamecano,
Upamecano
or Skriniar, Milan Skriniar from Inter Milan.
Skriniar, Upamecano. Also maybe we could go for Varane. He is 27 years old. He's got all the right attributes.
Would he want to leave a Champions League club though?
That is again a thing that Ed Woodward has to figure out. But I'm just giving my opinion.
No, for sure. I'm just.
So Varane, Upamecano, Koulibaly.
So
Skriniar.
those are centre backs. Are you
Yeah.
satisfied with the right backs and the left backs?
Right back, I guess everyone is satisfied. So we are like sorted in that department. Left back, we've got Shaw, who I think needs to improve on the attacking aspect of the game. And we've got Brandon Williams as well. So we've got it quite sorted over there. I don't see why we should spend splash money
Okay.
on those aspects. So what I want United to do right now is maybe spend on a players like say Jadon Sancho on the right side of the wing, who unleashes the right side of our whole attack.
And kind of creates
Creates
chances.
space, creativity aspect is added with Jadon Sancho coming in. So Jadon Sancho is a good option there. Even Jack Grealish is a brilliant option if
I
he can
agree.
switch up those roles.
Yeah, he can
Yeah.
play across the front line.
He can play across the front line. And one maybe unpopular opinion, I want a clinical striker to come in who's
Okay.
a fox in the box, like our Ruud van Nistelrooy.
So-
like you know that when he's standing in the box,
Everyone's scared.
Everyone's scared.
So you aren't satisfied with Marcus Rashford or Anthony
Not at all,
Martial?
not at all. So both of these players have a very good attacking potential, but they are not clinical strikers. Every team needs a striker in the box who is sure to finish off the play. So we don't have that kind of satisfaction when we see a ball coming in the box.
So, I mean, I agree that, Martial and Rashford haven't had the best of seasons because considering we had Van Hal first and then Mourinho, who Martial fell out with, and things like that. But this season, interestingly enough, Martial and Rashford are tied at 21 goals each for the season. So across all competitions.
Yeah.
So don't you think that's impressive for like two less than 223, 22-year-olds?
That is impressive, no doubt about that. But like I feel these both can do a lot more when they are playing upfront, like say left attacking midfield. On that position, we have them as options, and
Yeah.
whoever performs better can play. Get us strikers like Harry Kane or someone who's there to finish up the game.
Basically a sort of a senior player who can kind of teach more to these guys.
Exactly.
Kind of a mentor,
Exactly.
but not too old.
Exactly.
So I mean, Harry Kane would be the ideal signing then.
Yeah.
But yeah, makes sense. 100%. Okay, so I have a question for you. And when you said that we should pay Jesse Lingard to get rid of him, it's sort of funny because this is something I had written down. So if you could pick one player who, who you would not even transfer but just terminate their contract and pay them,
Jesse Lingard, as I said.
but I have three options for you: Lingard, Jones, and Pereira.
Okay, so I forgot about Jones. So see how important he is in our team. Like a diehard fan forgets about him. So definitely, if you want me to terminate a contract, it has to be Lingard. He's doing his antics off the field.
Yeah.
He's enjoying his time, having a ball of a time, and he's not having the ball in the field.
Okay.
Exactly. To sum it up.
Yeah.
So basically, Jones, Pereira, Lingard, these three players, along with Rojo and Smalling, these five need to be let go of as soon as possible, and then we'll have those wages and we can like utilize them in a very optimum way.
And which of these three would you pay to leave the club then? Please go.
I guess Lingard.
Lingard, hands down?
Yeah.
I hope Lingard doesn't see this video. So anyway, like you said, the team's doing well. We are coming up. All the attacking players are doing well. So what are your thoughts on Ole, who since ever since he's come in, our attack has started doing really well, and this season our defense has improved. But what are your overall thoughts on him? How do you think he's
So
doing?
Ole, when I first got the news that he's being appointed the manager of a club, I was quite skeptical in regards to like he does not
His
have
experience,
that
yeah.
experience and everything. But what I feel is he has brought that zest and the energy back to Old Trafford. That was during the time of Sir Alex
Yeah,
Ferguson.
that
We have to
entire
respect
Man
that
United
legend, yeah.
culture. Yeah,
Like people, like he has again instilled that players have to wear a suit while traveling to away clubs.
Yeah.
So again, all over again, it's happening that the Sir Alex Ferguson traditions are coming back to the club. He's a manager who's futuristic. He's young. He's played football on the field, so he knows how to develop attackers for sure.
Treble
And
winning
we've
side.
seen that in the case of Mason Greenwood.
Yeah.
Who's performing
Hands down.
brilliantly well.
hands down.
Yeah.
Better than Roberto Firmino, in my opinion.
100%.
So, how do you think Ole did last season versus this season?
This season he's done like obviously well.
Is it a step up compared to last season?
100% it's a step up in terms of the squad he's built around, as well as the morale that is there, as well as the energy that is there, as well as the potential of the young players he's unlocked. We've seen that in the case of like James, Mason Greenwood. They've stepped up their game.
I'd
So-
even go as far as to say that even Rashford and Martial have kind of become more clinical under him than they were
100%.
before.
He gives them some tips or certain tactics that he as a player has dealt with,
Yeah.
which helps them to grow.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, do you think he can build a dynasty like Sir Alex did, or is he not the right guy?
He can.
He
in
can.
my opinion, he can.
If he's given time.
If he's given time, if he's given the right transfers that he wants, if Ed Woodward like performs his job this time without screwing up, he has the potential of building a United era and a team, a dynasty all over again.
So, since you said that, do you think he should be given a new contract after his 3-year contract runs out if he becomes, let's say, second or third place regular and gives us the occasional FA Cup and EFL Cup trophies? Do you think that would be enough to give him a new contract, or do you want the Premier League? Do you want the Champions League?
No, like putting this much pressure on a manager who's just had 2 years with the team, or say 1.5 years.
No.
is not-
So, after his 3-year contract.
After his 3-year contract, let's see how he performs during these 3 years. Maybe next year, if he gets us to the second spot, as you said, and gets us the occasional FA Cup or say Europa League, good enough. Like quite happy with it, because rebuilding requires a lot of time
Time.
that we don't see.
Yeah, of
It
course.
requires like
We just see the results on.
we just
yeah.
see the results. It requires like filling the potholes.
Yeah.
And Van Hal did a lot of damage to the club, so it requires the time and the energy. So yeah.
Interestingly enough, you said Van Gaal did a lot of damage to the club. But if do you feel that during Mourinho's last season there was a lot more negativity around the club than when Van Gaal was there?
Yeah, so in terms of the morale and negativity, the last season of Mourinho, there was a lot of negativity around the club. The difference between the manager and the players, and that is because Mourinho has his concept of managing the
Managing
players,
people, yeah.
and we have a few rebels in the form of Pogba and everyone who could not take that because they were like given the free role in the previous terms. So yeah, there was a lot of negativity, but what Van Gaal did was he slowed down our play. He completely ruined our purpose. The football that we watched during the Van Gaal era is maybe
The most boring.
most boring football I've ever seen United play.
Definitely.
So football is all about like enjoying rather than winning. So yeah,
So, talking of enjoying, United is this close to enjoying a potential domestic trophy, FA Cup. Who do you think will win in the semi-finals? Arsenal versus Manchester City, who will win, and United versus Chelsea, who will win?
United for sure. We've beaten Chelsea this year, like
All
the
three
fixtures
times,
we
yeah.
faced. Arsenal versus Manchester City, there's no doubt. Like just to add, like Arsenal should maybe surrender. Just joking, yeah. So it's gonna be Manchester derby again in the finals,
Do you,
and
we've had a good record against City as well. So, would you bet on United going the whole way and just
100%
lifting the trophy?
optimistic about that. But that's gonna be the toughest fixture we have to face this year.
For sure. If we would, you believe that if we want to, take that next step, it's essentially we beat City in a final.
That will be a game changer for the players, for the fans, because we'll start to believe that we can do it once again,
Yeah.
and something huge is gonna happen the next season and there are few years to come.
I believe that as well. But do you think Chelsea will be an easy target considering they are in really good form? Christian Pulisic and Giroud, all those guys are playing well.
Chelsea
Willian.
have done their Lampard has done magic around the club, as you've seen.
Yeah.
But I still feel that United have an upper hand because we morally have a stronger side. We have a moral. We are like we've beaten them 3 times.
Yeah.
So we have kind of
That mentality.
mentality to again go again
And
go
beat them.
Yeah.
For sure. So, what is your prediction? Who against Chelsea? Score.
3-1.
3-1 for United.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys know that if this isn't true, you guys can reach out to him. His Instagram handle is @ballerbajaj. You'll find it in the video somewhere. So anyway, that's the end of our discussions. But
Yeah.
you claim to be this die-hard Manchester United fan, and against me you've been terrible in quiz up. But let's see, let's see. Okay, it's an even record. But let's see how you do in this quiz. So I'm gonna take you back, but not too far back because I only had a few minutes to prepare this. 2000 first question, yeah. You're gonna have 5 questions.
And what
2000.
if I answer all those?
Then I guess you can host the next episode.
Okay.
So 2007-8 UCL semi-final against Barca. We won 1-0.
What goals?
Okay.
Just like flexing my abilities.
Please let me finish the question. Okay. Berbatov scored 5 against which club in the Premier League?
Are you gonna give me options?
Do you want me to?
Yeah.
Okay. Liverpool, Wigan Athletic, Blackpool, Blackburn Rovers.
Blackburn Rovers.
Correct. Third question. Who scored the title winning hat trick in Sir Alex Ferguson's final season and handed us our.
Robin Van Persie.
Okay. See, that was an easy question.
That was not an easy question, yeah.
Second last. Who scored in the. Okay, you've been to Stockholm. You really can't screw this up. Who scored in the UEL final against Stockholm, where we won 2-0?
Mkhitaryan.
And
Rashford. Sorry. Mkhitaryan and Pogba.
you don't get to host the next episode, thank God.
Almost, more than half.
And last question. This is an easy question. Anthony Martial debut goal against.
Liverpool FC.
Perfect. Brilliant, Savish.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on to the show. Thanks for watching this episode, guys. If you enjoyed this episode, or if you feel someone who might be interested in football might be inclined to watch this episode, definitely recommend it to them. The channel's name is 12th Man. The show's name is the 12th Man Show. Please subscribe to the channel. Please download our app and show us your support. Please like this video and share it. And if you want to reach out to him, his Instagram handle is at ballerbajaj. It'll appear somewhere in the description or in the video. My Instagram handle is at the Kush Desai. Please follow 12th Man's IG handle as well at 12th Man Official. I'll see you guys next week for the next episode.